Hello everyone, I am Professor Shivchilesh Gudurgi. Welcome you to the lecture series on database management system. So we are discussing the module number 2 and the lecture number is 20c. So in this video we are going to see the some more parts from the basic queries in SQL. In that we are going to see the substring pattern matching and the arithmetic operators. We are also going to see the ordering of the query results. And after that we are going to see the how we are going to perform the insert, delete and the update statements in the SQL. Then finally we are going to see the additional features of the SQL. So at the end of this lecture, the student will have the better understanding of insert, delete and the update statements in the SQL. So in the last class, we have discussed about the basic queries in SQL. In that we have discussed about the select from where structure of the basic SQL. So in that we said that after specifying the select, we need to specify the attribute list that you wanted to retrieve it. After from, I need to specify the tables list which are required for the processing of the query. Then finally, the where clause will take the conditions. So the conditions which are necessary for the retrieving of the information. So where in this case, select and the from are the mandatory clause, whereas where clause is a optional. Next. So in a database, there can be the repetition of the attribute names until and unless those attributes are in a different tables, then there is a no problem. For example, the employee can also have the name attribute and the department can also have the name attribute. So whenever there is a same name, it is always preferable that the attribute should prefix with the table name. For example, if I'm using the name from the employee table, I should use the employee dot name. So that we call it as the qualifying the attributes, so which will remove the ambiguity. Then after that we have also discussed about the aliasing and the tuple variables. That means, so instead of using the complete name, I can alias. Alias means I'm creating a copy. For example, instead of using the employee, I will create the alias as E. So E is the copy of a employee table. So this is what we call it as aliasing. So the aliasing can be done by using the keyword as AS. Now, as I said that where clause is not a mandatory one, so we can miss that where clause. If you are not using the where clause, means we are retrieving the complete information. That means there is no any condition. So where will be always equals to true. So I am going to retrieve all the values. Now, so consider that sometimes you may be interested to retrieve all the attributes of a table. So instead of specifying all the attributes, it is better to specify it as asterisk. So the asterisk indicates that it will retrieve all the attributes from the tables involved. Then same way, the SQL can be worked as a sets. There are three operations, like you can perform the union, intersection, or you can also perform the minus. Now, let us see the two more concepts from the basic queries of SQL. So that is a substring pattern matching. In the case of substring pattern matching, so this feature allows comparison condition on only part of a character string using the like comparison operator. So that means, consider that if you are comparing the characters or part of a character string, then you can use the like comparison operator. So this can be used for string matching, string pattern matching. So for pattern matching, we are using the two reserved characters are used for the pattern matching. So one, if we are using the percentage symbol, so it replaces the arbitrary number of 0 or more characters. So 0 or more characters means if I use the percentage number, So in the case of percentage, either I can replace with a 1, or I can replace with a 0, or I can replace with a 100 characters or any number of characters. Or if I'm using the underscore, if I'm using the underscore, so it replaces only single character. It replaces only single character. If I use the percentage symbol, that can, it can replace 0 or n number. Whereas if I use the underscore, only single character. For example, consider that if I'm interested to retrieve the all the employees whose address is Houston, Texas. Okay. So before this Houston, there can be any street numbers also there, or there can be the state country name is also specified. So what I am going to do, I am going to interested in the selecting the first name and the last name. From which table I am considering it? I am considering it from the table called the employee, and I'm specifying the condition as where address. So why address? Because whose address? I'm looking for the address. So here I'm using the operator called the like. Okay, operator called the like. So as the address is a varchar, so the varchar here in this case I should be given within a single quote. Okay, why I give it in a single quote? Because I have declared it as a character varchar, so it should be given in a single quote. Now why I use this percentage symbol here? So this percentage symbol indicates any number of previous character. Consider that it is a flat number 7. So landmark maybe he has given. So all those things will be there. It will neglect all the things. It can be replaced by 0 or many characters. I'm only concentrating on the Houston, Texas. So the Texas is represented as TX, like the Karnataka is represented as KNO. So the Texas is represented as TX. After the Texas, there can be any number of characters. Once again, it can be appear. So that's why we have given the percentage symbol. Okay. So this is use of the character called the like as well as the percentage symbol. Now let us see regarding the underscore. Okay. Now find all the employees who were born in the during the 1950. So that means he has only given the 1950. We all know that the date will take how many positions. So the date will always take the 10 positions, and the date is specified by using the first 4 characters are for the year, that is YYYY. Then I am going to use the hyphen. Then I am going to use the month. Then I am going to use the day. Okay, so as I want the 1950, so this 50 is fixed, so that's why in the position 3 I have written it as 5. Okay, so it can be the 1951 or 1952. So totally how many blanks here are? So totally this is a 10 position. Out of this 10 position, I'm fixing the third position as the 5. Why 5? Because during the 1950 I'm wanted. Okay. So after the 5, totally there are 7, 1 for the Y hyphen and the month hyphen and the date. So whenever you know how many characters exactly are there, so better use the underscore. So if you don't know how many characters it will appear, so better go for the percentage symbol. Next, move on to the arithmetic operators. The standard arithmetic operators for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division can be applied for only the numeric values or the attributes with the numeric domains. That means you can't do it on the string types and all. Only for the numeric values or the numeric domains you can perform the arithmetic operators. For example, show the resulting salaries if every employee working in product X project is given a 10% rise. So that means 10% increment is given to the employees who is working on the project called the product X. Now here you can see that I'm interested in the displaying the first name, last name, and the salary. So instead of giving the salary, I am writing it as increase the salary. So I am here, I am multiplying it as 1.1. So why it is multiplied by 1.1? So the 10% means it is 0.1. Okay, 10% means it is a 0.1. Already 100% is salary is given. From that 100% salary, I am increasing it by the 10%. So that means 100 means 1. So 10 means 0.1. So it will become 1.1. Okay, understood. Next, from which table I'm taking? I'm taking it from the table called the employee, works on, and the project. So totally three tables are there. So obviously the two joints are required. So I will combine the employee table and the works on table here. Then after that I will combine the works on table with the project table. And also I need to check the product, that is the project name should be the product X. Then only I'm going to give the 10% increased salary. Now, after getting the results, you may be interested in some ordering. So ordering means either I may sort the values tuples in an increasing order, or you may can sort the values in a decreasing order. So for these things, the SQL allows for that. So the SQL allows the user to order the tuples in the result of a query by values of one or more attributes by using the order by clause. So the default order is increasing order of value. If you are not specified anything, so by default it will sort in a increasing order, or that is what ascending order. We can also specify the keyword DESC. DESC stands for descending. If you want to see the result in a descending order of values. The keyword ASC, ASC stands for ascending, can be used to specify ascending order explicitly. Explicitly, you can specify it as the ASC. If you are not given any order, by default, it will sort it in a ascending order. Okay. For example, let us see with an example here, query. We need to retrieve a list of employees and projects they are working on, comma, ordered by a department, and within each department ordered alphabetically by the last name and the first name. Now here in this case I am interested in the department name, I am interested in the last name, I am interested in the first name and the project name. So these values I am taking it from the department table, then employee and the works on and the project. As you can see, there are totally 4 tables involved. So how many joins are required? 3 joins. So first I will join the department table with the employee table here. Okay. Then I will combine the employee table with the works on table here. Then finally I will combine the works on table with the project table. So I'm going to order it by department name, last name, and the first name. So as you can see that I have not specified it as ASC or DESC. So the by default it will sort in a ascending order. Now, after all those basic queries, now let us see regarding the insert command, delete command, and the update command. So the insert in its simplest form is used to add a single tuple to a relation. So that means the insert command is used whenever you want a one row into a table, then that time you need to use the insert command. So for the insert command, we need to specify the a relation name and a list of values for the tuple. So that means whenever you are inserting command is used, we need to specify the table name and we also need to specify the attribute values. No, the values should be listed in the same order in which the corresponding attributes were specified in the create table command. For example, insert into values employee Richard K. Mirani. So here in this case, so insert into I'm using, so the insert into values, this is fixed. Okay, this is the command. So which table I'm inserting? I'm inserting into the table called or the relation called the employee, and here in this case I'm specifying the values, and these values should appear in the same order of the attribute. So that here in this case Richard is indicating the first name, K is indicating the middle initial, Marini is indicating the last name, then it is a SSN, then date of birth, then it is indicating the address, then the sex, then it is indicating the salary, then the phone number and the department number. So these are the things it should appear in the same form. You can also use the second form of the insert command, which user used to specify explicit attribute names that corresponds to the values provided in the insert command. Consider that if you are not interested to give the values of all the attributes, then that time you can specify for which attributes you are giving. Consider that from the employee table I am interested to give only the values for the F name, last name, department number and SSN. So this Richard will go to the first name, Marini will go to the last name, 4 will be the department number and this value will be the SSN. There should be an exact mapping of the attribute and the attribute values. So the next one is the delete command. The delete command is used to remove the tuples from a relation. So whenever you want to delete some values from the table, then you can use the delete command. So the delete includes the where clause similar to that you are used in the SQL query to select the tuples to be deleted. If tuples are explicitly deleted from only one table at a time. So if I am specifying the delete, it will only delete it from a single table. The same way if you are missing the where clause, so it specifies as the all the tuples in a relation are to be deleted. So if I am not using the where clause, then all the tuples will be deleted. However, the table remains in the database as the empty table. Now you can see the example. So the delete from is the query. So after the from, once again I need to specify the table name. So I'm table name is here is a employee. I need to specify the where clause. So the where will indicate the value you are interested to delete. So I'm interested to delete the tuple whose last name is a Brown. So only that tuple will be deleted whose last name is a Brown. Same here. So we are deleting the employee. We are deleting from an employee whose SSN is a 129. Now, the third case you can understand here. So there is no where clause is specified. If you are not specifying the where clause, that means all the tuples, all the rows from the table employee will be deleted. But in the database, there will be a table called employee with no values inside that table. So this is what the delete. Then finally the update. So the update command is used to modify the attribute values of one or more selected tuples. Consider that there are address is there, no? Consider that you have shifted your house. That means you need to update, you need to modify that address column. So then that time you go for the update command. So as in the delete command, a where clause in the update command selects the tuples to be modified from the single relation. So that means the update will also has the where clause. So in addition to the where clause, it is also has the set clause. So the set clause in the update command specifies the attributes to the modified or their new tuples. So set will give you the new values. Consider that the previous address was Dharwad. Now if you have shifted to the Hubli, so I need to specify the set is equals to Hubli. That is a new value I should give. For example, you can see that if you are changing a location and controlling department number of the project number to the 10 to Bilere and 5 respectively. Here in this case, update is the command name. Which table I am updating? I am updating the table called the project. And what I am updating, I am setting the p location to the below, so the set will always have the new values. Okay, so I'm setting it as the below, and I'm changing the department number is equals to 5. So which values you are going to choose, which update values you are going to do. So whose department project number is equals to 10. For that I'm going to change the project location as the below, and I'm going to change the department number is equals to 5. Let us see the additional features of the SQL. So the SQL has the capability to specify more general constraints called the assertion using the create assertion statement. So that means whenever you want to specify the general constraints which will be executed for the every tuple, then you can go for the create assertion statement. The second additional feature of SQL is it has the language constructs for specifying the views, and also known as the virtual tables by using the statement called the create view. By using the create, we can create the base table. By using the virtual tables, we can create the virtual means it will not be stored on the system. That is, it will not be stored in the memory. We can create the views. Then the third feature is SQL has several different techniques for writing the programs in the various programming language that include SQL statements to access one or more databases. Then the fourth feature of the SQL is each commercial RDBMS will have, in addition to the SQL commands, a set of commands for specifying the physical database design parameters, then the file structures for the relations, and access paths for the such indices. So for these things we are using a special language. We call it as the SDL, that indicating the stored definition language. Then the next feature of the SQL is SQL has transaction control statements. That is what we call it as a TCL language. That is what the commit and the rollback. Then the next feature is SQL has the language constructs for specifying and the granting and the revoking privileges to users. That means either I can give the permissions or I can revoke. For that I can use the commands called the grant and the revoke. We call it as a data control language. The next one is SQL has the language constructs for creating the triggers. You can create the triggers. The trigger will be like, so every first working day of the month, the salary should be given. So that is a triggering with triggering of the things. So in the today's class, we have discussed about the basic queries in SQL, that is a substring pattern matching. We are using the operator called the like, and I can also use the pattern matching. So the first one I can use the percentage symbol indicating the 0 or more occurrences, and I can also use the underscore, so which will match exactly the single characters. So you can also perform the arithmetic operator, that is the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the division only on the numeric values, numeric domains. Then the SQL also allows us for the ordering of the query results. So either you can sort them in an ascending order by using the keyword ASC, or you can sort them in a descending order by using the keyword as DESC. If you are not specified either the ASC or the DSC, by default they will be sorted in a ascending order. Next, that after that we have discussed about the insert. So the insert will be used to insert one row into a table. So the delete will be used to delete the values which are satisfied the condition, and are also update the sum of the values from the table. And finally we have discussed about the additional features of the SQL. So this completes the module number 2. So in the next class we are going to discuss about the module number 3. So thank you.